The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America reported that, in 2024, over 27 million Americans suffer from asthma, a chronic disease causing inflammation and swelling of the airways. Despite being one of the most common and costly diseases, the current response and treatments such as inhalers, spirometers, and over-the-counter medications still leave asthmatics susceptible to irreversible scarring of the lungs from excessive asthma attacks.
This highlights the need for cost-effective and preventive solutions, shifting the focus from reactive asthma care to proactive asthma management, keeping kids' needs in mind.
We are Getting Asthma, the group of students innovating a path toward this solution.
The American Lung Association conducted research on asthma mortality rates, and in 2021, less than 4,000 people died from asthma. That's a fraction of people currently living in the United States, and car accidents lead to fatalities 11 times this rate.
That's true, and there are responsive treatments for asthmatics to use to help test and visualize their lung capacity, like peak flow meters and spirometers.
Inhalers can also be used to open up the airways and allow more oxygen in and out of the lungs. What other measures are needed?
Okay, while there are responsive treatments and quantification assessments available to asthmatics, they don't protect against the irreparable damages associated with attacks. Untreated asthma can lead to long-term complications like permanent lung damage, as reported by the Cleveland Clinic.
So what I'm getting is that we need a more preventive measure for asthmatics to use. Something that can alert asthmatics that their breathing is abnormal and they can take action before their airways start swelling and closing and scarring, but how would we collect actual testing data?
I think the best way for asthmatics to be alerted is through an app on their phone. It would be easy to access, and we could create it with kids in mind. There would be aspects for parents to track the actual data and informative videos and simple breathing games for kids to help work through their attacks.
Beyond physical ramifications, the Society of Pediatric Psychology documented increased rates of anxiety, depression, and attention difficulties in children with asthma as opposed to their non-asthmatic counterparts.
Oh, I guess I never considered the mental health effects asthma can have on children.
My older sister had really bad asthma when she was younger, and it was scary for everyone in my family. Even though everyone has a different experience, a warning device definitely could have helped in some way. It was what made me start thinking about a solution in the first place.
So how do we help?
Well, we could develop an assistive auscultation device for the lungs. It would be a non-invasive, preventative, and technological solution. And we could implement machine learning to detect abnormal breathing patterns before an asthma attack.
Prevention is important to minimize risk of scarring and damage to children's lungs. The additional inclusion of an app would help to alert the potential attacks and assist children in learning how to manage their asthma.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we're minimizing the costs so that the high cost doesn't avert our target
I
consumer.
agree. The cost efficiency is the most important part. So let's keep brainstorming the design process.
I'm really glad that Amy pulled us together as a team. I feel like we can really make a difference here and that we have great mentors to help guide us in the right direction. Bye, Miss Dorsey. Wait, guys, we have to get on top of this right now. How about we split up, and two of us can go research and the other two can go look at materials?
That sounds good to me. I'll take Sarah with me since I know where the supplies are.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we find cost-efficient supplies.
We also need to interview some asthmatics, especially their parents, because kids don't really know what they need from a preventative device.
You're right. Okay, guys, man, take me hungry.
So how do we go about creating a preventive solution for asthma?
Well, let's start by looking at the medical devices we do have. Let's see, we have inhalers and medication, but we kind of wanted to stay away from those.
Yeah, we're not really qualified for that.
Pocket mouse. That's when an asthma attack happens, so. Oh, why don't we just use a peak flow meter?
Well, that's for instantaneous use to check for breathing, but it's not really long-term or innovative.
That's true. Well, Miss Dorsey did show us how stethoscopes can be used to listen to breathing sounds.
Yeah, and when asthma occurs, we can hear wheezing and crackling, and we know that auscultation means using a microphone.
So what if we could connect the two?
Oh,
Maybe we can insert the microphone inside the tubing and then we could pick up the sounds and record it to our phones.
that's a really good idea.
We should go tell the others.
Yeah.
Thanks for filling out our pool!
Wow, I can't believe that 86.7 of asthmatics think our idea could be useful.
But 100% of older asthmatics we surveyed said that they really would only use this device when they were younger. I think we should shift our target audience from general asthmatics to kids around the ages of 5 to 13.
Good idea. Majority of child asthmatics in that age range agreed that an auscultation device is worth considering. After coming together in September, we defined our problem and brainstormed broad solutions for a preventative asthma device. Our team worked to create an identity and started reaching out to professionals. We then collected data about asthmatics' needs and their likelihood of using a preventative device and combined the information with what we are learning about asthma and the lungs.
In October, we researched similar preventative products, started creating a plan for the future, and created our website. We wrapped all of our discoveries into our first presentation to the class and got feedback from a lot of people. Also, we met with our mentor, Mrs. Dorsey, for the first time.
In November, we started to solidify our ideas.
Wait, Honors, stop talking. Our email just came in about our design process.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, let's get to work, people.
Oh, shoot, you're right. We worked tirelessly modeling and assembling this device.
We asked many questions for final clarifications and adjusted when we got things wrong.
At first, when we started testing, the device wasn't really picking up noise at all. So we inserted a microphone in a different way and secured it with some tape, and then it could pick up sound a lot better. Then the device was only picking up louder noises when we placed it on the skin, so we had to play around with many different settings.
It took a lot of finicking, but on a random Friday when Annie was alone in the study room, she got it to work. And then the breathing could be picked up through the stethoscope's diaphragm, and it sounded really similar to what Miss Dorsey had showed us.
In November, presenting our findings to our mentor, Miss Dorsey, was the best way to show our progress thus far.
Yeah, I'm just very impressed. I might actually, you might actually get rich from all this.
In November, we started to solidify our ideas by making impactful decisions, sketching out our product, 3D modeling it, and putting it together. As we were testing, we got the correct sounds to be collected and worked through the device's specifics, including basic marketing and manuals.
Each team member did some research. We read through a Managing Asthma book written for kids, talked with our mentor some more, and worked with related medical devices. We really wanted to make sure that we knew everything we needed for our baseline knowledge as we were approaching a solution in the right direction.
And what are we doing next?
Well, although our prototype works now, we have to experiment with more microphones and attempt to make the device smaller.
We will also continue to get information from kids with asthma and their parents, but also start using the device on them to collect correct data to back up our case and use machine learning to know when things are wrong.
And we want our audience at the expo to experience this device firsthand, so we have to make sure that it works live 100% of the time.
You're so right. Our app's design will also be created with the platform Sketch. We plan to implement the poll results regarding app themes, which includes dogs and cats, princes and princesses, and superheroes.
Lastly, we're getting ready for Shark Tank by brainstorming many possibilities and deciding how we could best use the prize money.
Oh, hey guys, perfect timing.
Yeah, we were just about to go meet up with our mentors, Dr. John and Dr. Dorger.
Yeah, he really needed advice on marketing and on business.
Oh, I just got an email. They're ready for us.
Let's